Hello, you guys, and good morning. Here's another reason why this silly TikTok ban is a very bad thing and needs to be stopped ASAP.
How we use the internet is about to fundamentally change forever, and it's terrifying. This is Bill S686, also known as the Restrict Bill. You'll probably know it as the TikTok ban bill, but it does so much more than just that. It actually does more than any bill I think we've ever seen. I encourage everyone to read it by going here and clicking the text tab, but here are the main takeaways. The bill covers hardware technology like modems, routers, and home cameras, and virtual tech like VPNs, and basically bans them if they are manufactured by or used to contact and deal with foreign adversaries. Speaking of VPNs, using VPNs to bypass banned apps such as TikTok is made a criminal act under this bill. And the penalty? It's a minimum imprisonment of 20 years and a minimum fine of $250,000 or $1 million, depending if you knowingly did so to access banned content. The bill gives the federal government the power to monitor any activity used by these suspected devices, virtual or otherwise. Essentially, they can monitor what you are doing at home 24/7 without even informing you. This includes things such as routers, video games, streaming apps, smart thermostats, Ring cameras, basically anything that uses the internet. Now, the real terrifying part of all of this, as if that all wasn't terrifying enough, is that the bill goes on to state that this will happen by the president appointing a secretary of communication. That secretary then forms a group on their own without any voter input whatsoever. This group can have meetings behind closed doors. They don't have to disclose anything. They can ban and deem anything inappropriate or a risk to security at any moment in time. And if they do, they can go through your instant messages, your emails, texts, basically anything that uses the internet, and they can censor it. So in summary, this bill can effectively ban anything the government deems inappropriate extremely quickly without warning. The ramifications of this range from breaking up mass communication methods to even watching the cameras in your home, aka spying on you. It really is that bad, and I am not speaking in hyperbole. Please contact your reps. I have a video on my TikTok ban playlist on how to find your representatives and tell them if they vote for this, you will support their opponents in their next primary.
There was yet another school shooting yesterday, and this time in Nashville, Tennessee. Yes, sir, where 6 people were killed, including 3 children. For this to happen even once is unacceptable, but now it seems to be happening all the time. And like all of you, I'm sick to death of this. And I want you to know, and I want to know what our representatives plan to do about it, okay? But because if you ask this, yes. Oh, yeah. Because if you ask this representative from Tennessee, he plans to do jack shit about it.
So it's a horrible, horrible situation, and we're not going to fix it. Criminals are going to be criminals, and my daddy fought in the Second World War, fought in the Pacific, fought the Japanese, and he told me, he said, buddy, he said, if somebody wants to take you out and doesn't mind losing their life, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it.
There's not a lot of heck you can do about it? That's the best you have to offer? You're a congressman. If you don't have any ideas for how to keep our kids safe, get the out of the way. Yes. And go work at a Pinkberry or some shit. And by the way, no disrespect to his father, but if going to school in America feels like fighting in World War II, that should be a sign that things are seriously up in America, okay?
Getting into your home Wi-Fi, which was exposed in this here.
You heard that right. She says that they exposed that TikTok connects to Wi-Fi. And you know what gets me beyond this level of stupidity? Is that there's a journalist on the other side of this conversation that doesn't ask any follow-up questions. Like, Kat, you didn't know that iPhones and apps hook up to your home Wi-Fi network? Kat, do you really think that that's something that you guys expose, or is that just common knowledge among anyone with 2 brain cells that are functioning? Hey, Kat, what's the significance in an app being connected to your home Wi-Fi network? No, they just sit there on the other side and go, yeah. You guys did such a great job in exposing that.
That man was Rand Paul. This is actually pretty on brand for someone like Rand Paul. He's a libertarian Republican. We don't have time here for all the nuances of what that means, but basically he believes in things like free speech and less government. He also believes that TikTok needs to be treated as a speech platform and that the government should not single it out. He also went on to state that everything TikTok is being accused of, Meta and many others have already shown to be doing. And while broader regulations may need to be discussed, banning the most used speech platform in America is not the solution. He believes that the fact that 150 million Americans are on the app, that while being seen as a risk to some, it is now also the exact reason that a simple ban is no longer an option. He points out the hypocrisy of the U.S. government, who compiles massive amounts of data on its own people through U.S. tech companies, while pointing at just one app saying that collecting data for them should put you in fear. He cited that in June 2021, Newsweek reported that big tech companies complied with 85% of the U.S. government's request to turn over your personal data. That data includes phone calls, emails, texts, photos, shopping histories, driving routes, and more. The main companies that were named were Apple, Google, Facebook, and Microsoft, receiving over 112,000 data requests. Know what company wasn't named? TikTok.
This message is for the American government, and you're going to want to listen to this. So let me get this straight. You want to ban TikTok because 100 million Americans are on it for roughly 90 minutes a day, and that's an issue for you. I want you to answer this question for me. Why is it that those same amount of Americans, for the same amount of time, if not more, are on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, but that's not an issue? Why is that? You don't have to answer that. I'll answer it for you. It's because you cannot control the person who made TikTok. You can't have them in your back pocket. You can't buy them off. Like you did Zuckerberg. That's why. So you're going to go around and you're going to create this narrative that it's bad for your mental health and that the big bad boogeyman over in China is stealing our data, when in all reality, that's what America does. It steals data. It spies on people. It lies. It manipulates. It orchestrates wars and then paints us as the saviors. You don't care about us. You poison our food on a daily. You do not give us a livable wage. Inflation is at an all-time high. People cannot pay to live anymore for their basic needs. Homelessness at an unprecedented number. People are literally broke while working ridiculous amounts of hours. But none of you care about that. Dismantling the public school systems, none of you care about that. It's only things like this. And it's because you can't control us through TikTok. You hate that we are not sitting on your propaganda stations anymore, listening to the constant flow of bullshit. The gig is up. You know what happens when you push the people into a corner? They rise up. Keep it up. See what happens.
Avengers!